Well, welcome, Bronwen. How are you dealing with all this fantastic success that's suddenly arrived for you?
Oh, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. It's something I didn't expect, especially during this strange time where live music isn't really back yet. I didn't really expect it, so it's been a whirlwind. I've had so much support. I haven't had anything but support, to be honest. So I'm still sort of just walking on cloud nine every day, really.
What was it like to suddenly get all this big exposure in one go?
It was overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. I really had to take a few days out after it happened to kind of just process it all, because something like being on Radio One is something that I know every independent artist sort of dreams of, and to have all that happen in one day was, yeah, incredibly overwhelming. I had a few cries because I just didn't know what to do with my emotions. I was just overwhelmed. So yeah, it was a lot at once, but I'm in a zone now where I feel just grateful every day, to be honest, and just grabbing everything by the horns to be, yeah, every day.
How did it come about?
Well, I did an interview with BBC Radio Wales, and I've been great friends with BBC Radio Wales for years, since I performed on The Voice on the BBC. And they've supported me ever since. So I just had a little interview. They said, could you come and talk about your TikToks, which went viral the week before. So that was overwhelming in itself. So I spoke to Claire Summers, and they were so lovely. And basically, I didn't know about it, but Greg James had seen Radio Wales tweet about me and a little video of what I was doing and what I was up to. And then, without even a heads up, my friends rang me on the morning and said, Greg James is talking about you on Radio 1. I'm on my way to work, and he's mentioning your name, he's playing your songs. So there's me, a musician, still in bed, not naughty, but I was still sort of, dozing. I had a day off. I came downstairs, ran and found the nearest Alexa or whatever I could find, and turned Radio 1 on, and yeah, they were talking about me. And, Greg spoke to me after the show and said that he's got, his nan was Welsh and from Merthyr Tydfil. So he's always had strong connections with Wales. He's got many Welsh friends, and he said, anything I can do to help the Welsh language, I will. And that was such a big moment for me, because that's what my drive has been all this way.
What's your everyday job?
My day job is music, and so many people are shocked by that, because, being an independent artist, not many people sort of make a living from music, but I've basically found different ways through the years of using music in different ways within the industry. So before the pandemic, I was hosting music workshops in schools and universities and colleges, basically just trying to promote the Welsh language and show them that it's cool, show my translations. And then obviously I was touring with Max Boyce, who was a very famous Welsh hero of mine, and I've toured with him 3 times, and I've been a support act and friend. And then, yeah, of course, just releasing my own music, and I've managed to sort of make a business and a career out of it. And I've always told my partner, and friends and family, if I did this for life, I'm happy. I've got more than enough. And this, the career I have makes me so incredibly happy, just seeing people enjoy Welsh. So anything is an additional, anything's a bonus. And this week has shown that.
Now, one thing that a lot of us haven't met you before, but people might not realize that what you sometimes do is you'll take an English hip hop song and you put it into Welsh, basically.
Yeah, this is something I've been doing for years. It's not something new to me. So I started translating songs when I was 15. I come from a family of some Welsh speakers, but my parents don't speak Welsh. So they decided to send me to a Welsh school, which I'm so grateful for. And I learned Welsh in school, but obviously at home, we spoke English. So when I went and started performing at 15, and I'd take my guitar to all these different pubs, I realised that I wanted to show how cool Welsh is and how much I love it as a language. But then I was playing to sometimes majority English speaking audiences. So, and my family were there, which are majority English speaking. So I wanted to join those two audiences together, the people that speak Welsh fluently, the people who are learning bits, people who have never heard the language before. And I want them all to feel connected to it in the way I do. And I feel like translating is the way to sort of do that and make it all sort of inclusive.
You got your piano there, assuming it's an electric piano. Are you able to give us a little sample of what you do in Welsh?
Yes, I could. I've always got the piano handy, you know. It's always there. I tell you what I could do is the song that Greg James played on his show, and I was sitting there in shock because he played it in full, and I know how getting even a minute on Radio 1 is huge. So he played this in full. So this is Lewis Capaldi. It's a song called Someone You Loved, and it's something that when I used to go and play in front of children, teenagers, anyone, they'd be like, please play Lewis Capaldi. So this is one of them. Hope it sounds good. Fe hafte gagia di mewn eiliad heb unrhyw syniad. Dwi isio rhywun fan hyn, I da fi modern, I aros da fi, trwy'r nos tan y dydd. Mae'n anodd I ddweud, beth wyt ti I mi, mae'n dorri ngalon bod ni'n nawr yn dechrau rannu, a mae'r nos yn dod, I ddyllu'r dydd, a does dim byd na, dim ond y negrwydd sydd gada bobl I lawr, a ddangos fod llai, o'n i'n dechrau teimlo bod rwy'n meddwl rhywbeth I ti. Faint soft I mewn I dy fragiau nawr, dy fyddai'n unig daw, anodau sy'n yn ddadlau. A mae'r nos yn dod I ddyllu'r dydd, a does dim byd na, dim ond y negrwydd sydd gada bobl I lawr, a ddangos gwella I, o'n i'n dechrau teimlo bod rwy'n meddwl rhywbeth I ti. O'n i'n dechrau teimlo bod rwy'n meddwl rhywbeth I ti. O'n i'n dechrau teimlo bod rwy'n meddwl rhywbeth I ti.
That's lovely. You've got such a pure voice. I was telling you before we went live that I get goosebumps every time I hear your voice. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's really kind. That's so kind. Thank you. I remember when I sang on The Voice, and ever since I started singing, people would say, stop closing your eyes so much when you sing. And I try not to, but I'm just so into it. And I've realised that's sort of my style now. So sorry I wasn't looking at you.
No, I think
I go into a different world.
I think it adds to it. I don't think that takes away from anything whatsoever that you do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm so connected to music. It's as easy as breathing for me, I gotta say.
Tell us a little bit about growing up in Wales. What was that like?
Oh, I love growing up in Wales. It's such a beautiful country. I'm so proud of it in every way, in our sport, in our culture, everything. I just love it. I was brought up in a small village, a mining village called Seven Sisters. And outside my back door was a huge mountain range. I was always playing in the fields and, making tree houses. And I was so lucky to live in such a beautiful sort of natural space. My father was an entrepreneur and he started his own business, sort of doing outdoor activity in the Brecon Beacon. So we always did outdoorsy stuff and such a close family. But a big part of our lives was music, because any Welsh person you ask, there's always music. They always say most Welsh people can sing. But my granddad, my uncle and my father were all in a male voice choir in the village. And when I was a child, I used to watch them sing and go to the annual concerts. And it would just, I just knew I wanted to be up there, and to see them do it. And the thing is, in Wales, singing isn't a feminine thing amongst sort of miners and these, really solid rugby men, in the village. And they're all part of a choir. And it's funny that other parts in the world, sort of singing is seen as something maybe more feminine or not as masculine, but we have such a strong culture of singing. And I've always seen the men and the women in my family sing. I always had a piano in the house from a young age. And it was meant to be, I think. But speaking Welsh, and having the language is something I'm so grateful for. Grateful that my parents chose that for me, and I'm going to do the same for my children in the future. And I think the Welsh language is just going to thrive really from here.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I tend to plan sometimes 2 weeks ahead, you know, because everything changes so quickly in this industry. But in 10 years' time, I just want to be happy. And in this industry, we all know it. There can be so many sharks. There can be so many ways of sort of stifling your creativity. And all I want is to be happy, to be able to release the music that I love and that I'm proud of, and to continue. I just want to be sort of, hopefully, a bit of a beacon of the Welsh language. That's all I've ever wanted, is for people to go, the Welsh language has thrived a little bit more because Bronwen was here.